Man, you mean to tell me that Donald J. Trump, President 45, has to pay $355 million over some BS? That should tell y'all the system is out to get the president. Real talk. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of, you guessed it, uh, Joel Davis Media Network. Now, if it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. With that being said, let's jump into today's festivities. So, guys, if you have not heard, it is the talk of the town currently right now, and that is President Donald J. Trump having to pay $355 million in the New York City so-called fraud case. Not to mention, he is also barred. That's right, barred from doing any kind of business in New York for 3 years. Now, guys, we already know that this was doomed for Donald J. Trump from the start, but we're going to jump in here. I'm going to read the article of what has happened in the case, what Donald J. Trump has to say, and I will give you my 2 cents as always. So let's continue to jump on this. Trump blasts the clubhouse politician judge after being fined a $350 million, defends the great company he built. They're trying to stop me, but they will not be successful. I'm fighting for America. I'm fighting for the people. And that's what he's always done. Now, this is how you know this is a straight a clown job, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, with that being said, let me start.
There's 2 things a young man want to be: cowboy or a gangster. And a gangster.
Let me go rephrase this one.
I got back to my roots. We come from a long line of...
It's trying to play stuff in the background. I hate when it does that. All right, so let's go. So, former President Donald J. Trump blasts clubhouse politician Judge Arthur Engoron Friday after he barred him from operating his business in New York for 3 years and fined him more than $350 million. Defending the great company he built.
Has called this a manifest injustice.
And telling Fox News Digital that the ruling is yet another example of Democrats trying to stop him, but they will not be successful. Engoron handed down his ruling Friday after a months-long civil trial beginning in October and stemming from New York Attorney General Letitia James. Lawsuit alleging the former president inflated his assets and committed fraud. Trump spoke exclusively to the Fox News Digital shortly after Engoron's ruling was made public Friday afternoon. A crooked New York judge working with the very corrupt Attorney General of New York State, who ran on the basis of "I will get Trump before knowing me, before even knowing anything about me," just ruled that I have to pay a fine of $355 million based on absolutely nothing. Trump told Fox News Digital. No victims, no damages, great financial statements with full disclaimer clauses, only success. Trump told Fox News Digital that the banks and insurance companies were thrilled. They made nothing but money, no defaults, no nothing at a time when many banks are losing money. This is a witch hunt where the judge ruled against me before he even saw the case, Trump said, noting that Engoron strongly stated that said Mar-a-Lago was worth 18 million when it's worth anywhere from 50 to 100 times more than that. In September, Engoron ruled that Trump and the Trump organization had committed fraud while building a real estate empire by deceiving banks, insurers, and others by overvaluing his assets and exaggerating his net worth on paperwork used in making deals and securing financing. Trump also said Engoron had already been overturned on his case 4 times, a record. Trump was referring to the New York State Appellate Division ruling. I built a great company, and now this whacked out clubhouse politician judge bars me for 3 years, judge said, adding that the case should have gone to commercial division, but said Engoron wouldn't allow it to happen. Trump told Fox News Digital that Engoron is a political hack working in conjunction with the crooked attorney general in the greatest case of election interference anyone has ever seen in this country. In Engoron's 92-page ruling, he criticized Trump and his testimony during trial, saying that he rarely responded to the questions asked and frequently interjected long, irrelevant speeches on issues far beyond the scope of the trial. His refusal to answer the questions directly or in some cases at all severely compromised his credibility, Engoron wrote. When asked for reaction, Trump told Fox News Digital, I answer the questions very directly, and the financial statement speaks for themselves. They are fantastic financial statements. He is just a clubhouse politician, Trump said. This country is becoming worse than Russia ever was. They are doing this because I'm beating Biden and opposed by so much, Trump told Fox News Digital. They are trying to stop me, but they will not be successful. He added, I'm fighting for America. I'm fighting for the people. Trump told News Digital that he's already won most of the appeal at the New York State Appellate Division, saying Engoron has refused to recognize after 4 losses there already, but vowed to appeal the rest of the decision also. Engoron ruled that Trump and defendants were liable for persistent and repeated fraud, falsifying business records, issuing false financial statements, conspiracy to falsify false financial statements, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. The judge also barred Donald Jr. and Eric Trump from serving as an officer or director of any New York corporation or legal entity in New York for 2 years. Engoron also permanently barred defendants Alan Weisberg, the former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, and the former corporate controller Jeffrey McConney from serving in the financial control function of any New York corporation or similar business entity registered and or licensed in New York State, and as a director of any New York corporation or other legal entities in New York for 3 years. New York Attorney General Letitia James brought the lawsuit accusing Trump and the Trump Organization of fraudulent business practices. The court proceedings were contentious, with Engoron repeatedly placing Trump under a partial gag order to prevent him from criticizing court staff. James has sought $370 million plus 9% interest and penalties from Trump. Any awarded funds would go to the New York State Treasury unless directed elsewhere by the state comptroller. Trump's legal team also repeatedly blasted the lack of a jury in the trial. Trump and his family denied any wrongdoing, with the former president saying his assets had been undervalued. Trump's legal team insisted that his financial statements had disclaimers and made it clear to banks that they should conduct their own assessments. Trump has said his financial statements were perfect and stressed the bank loans were repaid and as happy as can be. Throughout the trial, Trump attorneys brought witnesses, including former Deutsche Bank top executives who testified the bank sought additional business from Trump, whom they viewed as a well of a client. Trump's defense also brought in expert witness, including New York University accounting professor Eli Bartov, who reviewed the Trump financial statements at issue in the case and said he found no evidence of accounting fraud. Bartov testified last month that Trump's financial statements did not violate accounting principles, and he suggested that anything problematic, like a huge year-to-year leap in the estimated value of his Trump Tower penthouse, was simply an error. My main finding is that there is no evidence whatsoever of any accounting fraud. Bartov testified. Trump's financial statements, he said, were not materially misstated. James' office has requested that Enron ban Trump, his sons, and the other defendants from applying for loans in New York for 5 years, in addition to blocking the Trump organization from handling any real estate business for the same period. Trump and his team have pointed to James' comments to supporters as she ran for her position. We're definitely going to sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass, James once told a supporter on video. James also once said Trump was an existential threat and said the number one issue in this country is defeating Donald Trump. Nothing else matters, James said. So, after reading this article and seeing what is going on currently right now, guys, it is sad to say this, but this is the radical left trying to stop Donald J. Trump from being a major player in the presidential run of 2024. See, Letitia James and this judge are on the same page of let's break him before he has a chance to take over this country, because we the people want him in there. Now, here's what's going to also happen as we get him in there, right? There's going to be a lot of people like Letitia James that are also going to try to do whatever they can to keep his hands tied from controlling the country the right way. This is all a conspiracy. I hate to say it. This is all a witch hunt. And there is more to come off of this. Now, my thing is, why go after Trump when you got so many other companies that do the same type of businesses that he does? And let's talk about this. He had expert witnesses. He had Deutsche Bank. Do you know how powerful that bank is? That is a big time business bank. I hope I didn't mispronounce their name, but they're a big time bank. And it takes a lot to do business with them, okay? You can't just be no regular Joe Schmo company that goes up there and say, hey, Deutsche Bank, man, I want to have a meeting with you so we can get this money. No, it don't work that way. You got to be, your name's got to be ringing like 12 o'clock bells at the First Baptist Church type of thing. And then here's another thing. Financial advisor, an accounting, a professor at a prestige credit college also said that his financial records are impeccable. He only made a mistake if the Trump Towers was going up and down, and that's because of an error. Now, here's my issue that I have. I have two people that are involved in this mess that sued with this lawsuit of fraud that I know were biased from the start. The judge. The judge was already biased. Trump could have explained everything, never interrupted, been nice, polite, and smiled. That judge would have still ruled against Trump because he doesn't like Trump. Second, Letitia James. She's out to make her career. And what she's making a career on by telling her supporters that are radical liberals, yeah, I stopped Donald Trump. I made his wallets light. You need to vote for me. I get it done. Well, okay. Problem is, this is all wrong. I hope that when Trump appeals this, that the appellate court see that this was just a witch hunt, an awful trial, and he gets this decision turned over, and he doesn't have to pay this ridiculous fine of BS, because that's what it is. It's no way to put it. But anyway, guys, jump into my comment section and tell me what you think about what's going on with Donald J. Trump. Do you really think that he is guilty of this fraud? Do you think that there are other companies that would have gotten the same thing if there wasn't had a notorious person like Trump? And tell me about the businesses that this verdict is going to actually affect in New York City. Do you think New York City is going to start losing a lot of corporations because of this trial of BS? I just need y'all to take the time and let me know what you think. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all so much for coming through and listening to the channel. Y'all know what it is. I am out.